Okay, welcome to Module 2, Active Directory Administration. Overview of ADDS. So first of all, we need to study, we need to find out in theory, fundamentals, and basic. Ano ba yung AD? So this lesson describes the core logical components and physical compo that makes up Active Directory domain services deployment. So before we deploy, we need discussion, no? So ano yung mga ADDS, objects, forest, schema, process, and ano yung tools na gagamitin natin. So first of all, ADDS is composed of both logical and physical components. So out from physical, so when you say physical, may pre-existing databases, no? Meron siyang domain controller database, meron siyang physical location, which is C: NTDS, meron siyang global catalog, no? Meron din siyang RODC. So ano-ano ba yan? No? Mamaya di-discuss ko. And then sa physical component, it has many logical components. Like ang DC, meron siyang 4 partitions, hinati sa 4. No? Ang DC din, meron mga schema, no? Yung blueprint. And then meron siyang domains, trees, forests, sites, and OU. So when you say partition, ang DC has been partitioned into 4. No? First one is the yun nga, yung other configuration, no? Tapos 1 and 2 will be discussed sa following slides, no? Isa-isayin natin 'yan. So, what is objects? So, objects compose of users, groups, and computers. So, these are the primary object. User is ikaw, yung tao, no? Object is a collection of users, no? Sa objects naman, meron tinatawag na security group, and meron ding distribution group. So meron dalawa. Sa security group, it has SID ID, security ID, which you can allow or deny permission. Sa distribution, walang SID. No? More on email, collection of emails lang. No? Sa group objects, meron ding scopes. So meron siyang local, meaning yung server na yon, meron siyang permission or denial sa server na yon. Meron namang domain local, a server which belongs to the domain. Meron namang global. When you say global group, any server belongs to a single domain. No? Isang domain. Universal naman, any domain who belongs to the same forest. Okay? So ano ba yung forest? Forest is a collection of domains. No? Domains naman is a collection of users, groups, and computers. Okay? So huwag kayo malilito, user, tao lang to, groups, collection of users, computer objects. Ito yung mga computer like server 1, 2, and 3. So first, what is DS, forest, and domain? Again, a forest is a security boundary. Meaning, ito lang yung limit mo. If you belong to the same forest, you won't be able to authenticate. You won't be able to authorize access. Wala kang access sa ibang forest. Kundi dito lang sa forest na to. No? So, essentially, forest becomes the replication boundary. You can replicate within any domain with a single forest. No? What is domain? Domain is a replication boundary. Meaning, your object, let's say computer mo, can coexist to different server within the same domain controller. So that's why tataka kayo, ba't pwede ako mag-login sa ibang server, di ba? Ba't pwede mag-login sa ibang computer? Kasi yung ID mo is within the replication boundary ng domain. So by the way, our domain will be nexus.corp yata, no? So ito yung replication boundary mo. So meaning you can log into anywhere using the same ID, no, to any server. A domain is an admin center. So meaning you manage everything in a single domain. No? Sa mismong admin center natin. So sa may admin center, so kanina meron akong ginawang, wala pa lang Active Directory. So lalagyan mo muna natin to, no? Lalagyan muna natin ng Active Directory yan kasi wala pang admin center. Sige, tuloy ko lang yung lesson. Domain provides authentication and authorization. No? Ano bang difference ng dalawa? Ano yung authentication and authorization? Pag sinabing authentication, ito yun as a person. Ikaw yan. Something you have. Authorization naman is something you access. Let's say, bumili ka ng ticket cinema to Mega Mall. No? Sa'yo yung ticket na yun. Ngayon, authorization, saan ka authorized pumasok? Di ba bumili ka cinema 2 nga eh. So that means, may access ka lang cinema 2. Pero walang access cinema 3 and 4. Okay? Clear ba? Clear? So authentication identifies the person. Okay? Or the service seeking access. Yung may gustong ma-access. Authentication requests legitimate access credential. So when you log in sa domain, you will be given a TGT ticket. TGT is ticket granting ticket. Bibigyan ka nun. Yung ticket na yon, nandun yung access mo sa Cinema 2. Okay? Authentication is a basis for creating secure identity and access control principle. So dito yung sa access mo na yan, nandiyan yung ACL. No, kung anong klaseng permission meron ka. So sa folder na yan. Let's say read-write lang pero wala kang full permission. Na? Authorization defines which data you can access. Let's say C:/marketing. Doon ka lang may access na read-only. Okay? Doon authorization mo, read-only only. Okay? Trust relationships. Trust relationship provide access to resource in a complex AD environment. So pag sinabing yung trust, use case nito, forest to forest. So pag sinabing forest 1 to another forest, two different boundary na yan. Let's say lenovo.com. And then another forest, ibm.com. No? Eh itong Lenovo, gusto mong ma-access sa ibm.com. Let's say, umorder siya ng mga 100 servers. No? So, for Lenovo to get access, magre-request siya ng trust relationship settings. No? Magre-request siya ng resource access. Pwede yung access yan sa domain nyo. Doon magkaiba siya, no? IBM, supplier ng mga server. Lenovo naman, supplier ng mga laptop, mga ganun. No? So, you need to build trust. Okay? Ano na may mga types of trust? So, there are many types of trust. Meron ba slide dito? So, parent and child, yun nga, ang parent is si IBM, ang child is si Lenovo. Okay, di ba Lenovo, IBM din yun eh. Diba? So, humuhugot lang siya ng data dun sa ibm.com. Kumbaga, yung main database niya nag-originate sa ibm.com. Wala dito. Kinokopya lang niya sa parents. Okay? Meron namang tree root. No, ito yung first domain in a forest na sinasabi nila. Essentially, this will become the primary forest. Doon sa forest na yon, meron ding parent and child. No? Primary domain, secondary domain. Primary domain will become the parent. Secondary, yung subdomain. Okay? Meron naman external, walang relationship talaga. Let's say maganda, mcdonalds.com. And then dito naman let's say company ABC, supplier ng mga bread. Okay? Ang McDonald's, they need to order bread dito sa bread.com. External yun. Now they need to set up relationship. Siguro one way lang para ma-read lang yung database. Na para makita ko lang ilang bread ba kailangan kong orderin. Okay? External. Realm is like ethereal, no? Something like talagang totally different company pero form as one conglomerate. Kung alam niyo yung let's say San Miguel is a conglomerate. Marami silang companies, di ba? Pero they do, yung business totally different from another business. No? So it form as one corporation, as one San Miguel, na mga ganun. Meron mang forest lang, single forest. So anybody who belong to the same forest, trusted na talaga. Meron mang shortcut. Shortcut naman naka-point lang doon sa external. Nagke-create lang siya. Let's say, yun nga, San Miguel. Gusto mong umaksess sa San Miguel. Nag-create lang siya ng shortcut doon sa child na yan. OU, what is OU? Organizational unit. OU is like a container. Let's say meron kang server 2016, 2019, and 2012. No? Gusto mong apply ng patch. Hindi naman gagana yung service pack sa 2019 na service pack galing sa 2016, di ba? Magkaiba yun eh. Magkaiba yun eh. Di ka ganyan. So, gagawa ka ng groupings. Group mo. Server 2016, 2019, 2016. Oh, may nagchat-chat. Wait, hindi ko nakikita yung chat, ha? Saan ba nagchat-chat yan? Eh, wala naman. Okay, so if you have something, tell me right away. No? Hello, audible ba ako or na-disconnect ako?
Audible po.
Audible
Wala
ako.
naman.
Kala ko na-disconnect ako. Okay, OU is a container used for system objects. Again, ano yung object? Anybody? Sir Ariel. What is object? Romel Ilag. Or anybody from AutoHub? What is object? So pag sinabing object is users, groups, and computers. Okay? Tama. So yung container lalagyan ng users, groups, and computers. Okay? So you create OU, gagawa ka ng OU para lagyan ng users, groups, and computer. Pero ang purpose ng OU talaga is to configure objects by assigning GPO. Let's say, gusto ko mag-assign ng folder redirection sa marketing group. Diba? Marketing lang, ayoko yung sales. No? So you can create a policy per group. Okay? So that's the purpose ng OU. Another purpose, you can delegate admin permission. Let's say, sa analyst group, ang access lang nila read-only. So gagawa ko ng OU. No? Then gugroup ko sila na merong read-only. Okay? Next, schema. Schema is essentially the Active Directory database. Ito yung, kung alam niyo yung database, rows, columns, tables. So ito lang yun. So tables, tapos let's say properties, attribute, schema. Blueprint lang siya, no? Database. Kumbaga skeleton ng Active Directory. Ito, pakita ko sa inyo. So dito merong password, Unicode password. So this row pertains to Unicode password. So ano yung attribute niya? Okay? So password siguro 1 welcome, 1, 2, 3. Ganun, no? Sabay. User principal name is the property name, attribute niya, siguro John Lloyd Cruz at ibm.com. Okay, UPN eh. Okay? So essentially, it's a database ng Active Directory. Next, AD replication. So within AD, infra, standard DC, replicate AD to any Active Directory. Sa scenario natin, kung meron tayong second, kung gusto niyo lagyan second Active Directory, yung users dito, let's say 100 users, will be replicated to server 2 in a multi-master scenario. Pag sinabing multi-master, lahat sila parehong master. Meaning, anybody can do push-pull. So ano yung push-pull? They can push, no? Or they can pull data from server 1. Server 1 naman, pwedeng i-broadcast yung newly created object. No? Pwedeng basahin ko to, then pull. Parehong master. Okay? Multi-master. Malinaw ba yung master definition?
Sir, question dyan sa master na yan. Dito sa NT dati, meron tayong primary tsaka backup domain. So when you say both masters, pareha silang primary domain controller, tama ba?
Sa Windows NT, may backup pa yan. Ano? So dito sa atin, wala na. Pareho silang master. Oo, tama ka. Wala nang primary domain, backup domain, wala nang concept na yon. Kasi lahat sila master.
Master.
Pero parang backup din eh. Kasi ganito mangyayari. Diba? Let's say namatay yan. May backup ka dito, di ba?
May high availability siya.
Yes, tama. Yan ang tinatawag na high available server. No, not dependent, highly resilient, no? Failover, load balancing.
Sir, madidiscuss mo ba yung for us to create a replicate server?
Pwede. Kung gusto nyo.
Gagawa tayo.
Kasi gagawa tayo
one of the things that I want to learn kasi dito sa atin ngayon is number one, yun nga yung replication server. And how would I create another domain controller? Let's say, for example, I have 2 locations. Meron ako sa Manila, meron ako sa Bulacan. Paano ko siya magiging magagamit itong domain controllers na to?
Oo, pwede yan. So
Uh,
ito yung Manila, ito yung Bulacan, magre-replicate yung dalawang yan. Makikita mo.
magre-replicate.
Yes, parehong
Okay, mamaya naman.
multi-master.
Okay, sige. Thank
Okay,
you.
yan, thank you. AD, data is separated logically into several partitions. So ito yung sinasabi yung kanina, di ba? Meron siyang 4 partition, yung Active Directory. Config contains the configuration, okay? How you connect to a different Active Directory. Siguro Manila, Bulacan, how do you connect? Simple lang, multi-master, automated na siya. Wala ka nang gagawin. Magko-connect na siya mag-isa. No? Config composed of the location of group of ano ba to? Database. Config also contains IP address. Tapos kung sino yung schema master and so on. Schema partition contains the database. Domain partition contains the information about the domains. Application partition contains the information about SQL, database, yung mga ganun, ano, and how you connect to that database or how you connect to that application. So hinati siya sa 4. Um, Characteristic ng replication, yun nga, multi-master, anybody's master. Meron namang pool-based. Let's say Manila is the master, server 2 naman, pool-based. Meaning, anything you created dito, hihugutin lang niya. Okay? If a user is created dito sa Bulacan, will not be propagated dito. Okay? Meron naman scenario, store and forward. Kung 3 Active Directory mo, no, lahat multi-master, yung kinrate mong user 1 dito, will be forwarded dito and save. Whatever save will be forwarded dito. Store, save, store, save. So nagkakopyahan silang 4. Okay? Meron naman data store partitioning. So depende sa folder na define mo, doon lang siya masasave. Pero lahat yan, auto-gen na yan. Automatic generation of replication topology. In fact, wala tayong gagawin topology. Kasi optimized na siya. No? You don't have to change anything. Pag nag-change ka pa, baka magka-problema. Then meron ding AD, attribute level lang. Ganito yan. Let's say user 1, pinalitan ko yung last name. May user 1 dito. Yung last name na ba yun magre-replicate dito? Yes. Tawag doon, attribute replication. Okay? Let's say nag-asawa na siya, pinalitan na yung last name. Re-replicate dito yan. Pero may delay. Papakita ko yung delay. Ha? Then meron siyang distinct control of inter-site replication. Let's say read-only domain controller, no? So that means di ka makakapag-reset ng password dito. Okay? Then ang AD, meron din collision detection. Ganito yan. So paano yung collision detection? Ganito. Sabay kayo nag-create ng 1,000 users. Pangalan, user 1, user 1. E di conflict of name na yan, di ba? Di ba? Conflict. So ano mangyayari? Ang AD, merong collision detection system. Whoever written first will win. Meaning, kung nagsulat ka ng user 1 dito, nag-create ng user 1 dito, tapos nag-create na naman siya. Sorry, the last one created pala will win. Nag-last dito, overwritten na to. No? Okay, so the last one wins. So baliktad, sorry. The first one wins. Let's say, user 1, kinrate mo dito, then after 5 minutes, na-create user 1. Hindi. Imposible. Ganito mangyayari. User 1 detected. Okay, napaka-simple, di ba? Papakita ko sa inyo. User 1 detected, imposible magkaroon ng problema. Pero ganito yan eh. Sa domain, let's say Bulacan to. Tapos replication niya every 20 minutes. And nag-create ng user 1, nag-create ng user 1. Nung time, after 20 minutes, nag-replicate, uy, pareho. Sino yung honor? No? The first user wins. Kasi nga, madedetect niya, may magko-compare yung time. Sino ba unang na-create? Di ba? Server 1. Tawag doon, collision detection and management. So you don't have to worry about anything, any conflict. Pero yan ang common issue sa morning. I was part of Active Directory team. Dami na ang problema. Collision every morning. No? So dito maraming trabaho. 30 AD specialist kami noon. Nasa IBM ako. That was 10 years ago. Okay, next. Sign-in process. When a user logins, let's say user nag-login sa server, what's happening? Parang may nag-chat. Ano ba yun? Wala naman. Wala akong makita. Okay, okay. So when a user log in, you'll be given a ticket, tawag doon ticket granting ticket. The ticket will give you authorization to which access you can have, no, TGT. So binigyan ng ticket, sabihin natin access mo lang is server 4. So you won't be able to access server 3 and 2. Okay? Kung may access ka man sa server 4, anong authorization mo? Let's say read only. You cannot delete anything. Okay? Any question about sign-in process? Wala. So lesson 2, deploying Windows domain controller. So we're gonna install a domain controller. So install a DC from server manager. Napakasimple. So pag lumabas server manager, ito yung first choice. So if you want to join, let's say meron ka lang existing, yung sinasabi nung kanina, let's say meron ka na nito, gusto kong i-join to dito para mag-replicate siya, parang backup, no? Ito yun, first option. Add a DC to an existing domain. Okay, dadagdag mo lang. Ito naman, add a new domain to an existing forest subdomain. Yan. No, let's say kung Contoso, siguro subdomain dot contoso.com. Okay, subdomain dot contoso.com, subdomain. If you're gonna create your own forest, ito yung gagawin natin. The first domain controller in a forest, add new forest. So lalagay natin pangalan ng domain. Okay? Lagay ko nexus.com. And
Sir,
then click
pabatin
next.
lang, sir. Sir,
Okay, okay.
magpapabatin lang. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Shit. Number one, pagka ba sir magke-create ka ng backup or additional domain, ano ang best practice? Dapat within same location bago mo siya dalhin dun sa, di ba, yung Manila, di ba? Sa Manila ka
Kailangan
gagawa
same
tapos
location, oo.
Oo. What shall you do? Magpapalit ka na lang ng IP address pag dinala mo na siya Bulacan?
Well, kung ano yung subnet na nandun, whatever yung subnet assigned doon, mag-iiba ka na ng
So,
IP address. Hindi na maganda yun.
oo. Tas automatic na magkikita na rin yung dalawa. The way na ginawa mo siya dun sa Manila. Tama ba?
Oo, as long as you set up yung networking niya. So,
As long as
kailangan
nakikita
magkitaan
yung dalawang
sila.
network, di ba? Oo.
Oo, kailangan magkitaan sila.
Okay,
Kailangan
sige sir.
magkitaan
Thank
sila.
you.
Hindi,
Oo.
you need to architect that one. Ano? Kung ang Manila, may DC, second naman sa Bulacan mo, site replication ka nun. Magkoconnect ka ng site replication nun. Pero as long as nakikita sila, let's say naka-VPN ka, magre-replicate yan. Pero you need to set kailan magre-replicate, di ba?
Magsiset ka lang. Pero
Oo.
as long as nakikita sila, it doesn't matter the way you
Oo, doesn't matter
build
na.
the secondary server dun sa Manila. Tama po ba?
Oo, doesn't matter na.
Okay.
Okay, so dito sa ating hands-on lab, ito na yung server natin. Sa server 1, server 3, server 1. Ayun, ito yung server 1. Okay, so tuloy ko nga yung discussion muna para maintindihan nyo. So ayan, so yung tatlo, no? So install a DC on a server core. So you can do that. Install a DC by installing from media, yung IFM. So sa project number 2 natin, we're gonna install AD. Now we're gonna navigate with AD, admin, center. We're gonna perform admin tasks and view all objects. Okay? So yan ang ating project 2. So ito, napakasimple. Mano-mano po gagawin. So ito yung manual natin. So server 1, add role. Oh, ayun. Add role. Okay. Skip this one by default. So you're gonna select role-based feature because you're gonna install in a server. Tagal naman ito. Patayin ko kaya muna itong 3. Okay, we're gonna install in 10.1.1.21. Ay, then, pansin nyo, wala pa palang server name. So we need to change this one. No? Change natin yung server name. Hindi ko pala nagawa kanina. So punta kayo ng PowerShell. PowerShell. We're gonna change the server name. So napakadali lang nito sa server name. So the command, sulat nyo to, rename computer, okay, server 1, restart. Sa 2, ganun din. Pag hindi responsive, close mo na lang siya. Tapos reopen mo na lang ulit. Uy, kailangan ako mag-reboot. Hindi niya makita. Okay, kailangan ko mag-reboot. Reboot ko muna to kasi hindi niya makonect yung Hyper-V. So anyway, yan, nag-restart. Another way to install Active Directory is, kung gusto niyo namang automated, project number 2, the command install. Pansinin niyo Windows feature, lumalabas kagad, di ba? Then you have to type the name. The name of Active Directory is AD, domain, services, which includes all the management tool. Yan lang yan, mag-install na yan. No? And then, if you want to verify, get command to display the module. Ang module na gusto natin makita, kung na-install na yon, Active Directory. Okay? And then the first thing you need to do is to install the forest. The second things you need to do na install, ibang command nun. Ano ba? ADDS forest. Okay? And whatever name you want, let's say, domain name is, let's say, for example, nexus.com. Now, magiging nexus.com yan. Kung gusto nyo mag-install sa an existing domain, no, additional domain, so install ADDS lang. Yan. Kasi gusto mong install yung Bulacan, yan lang. So, tatanungin ka ng maraming question yan. Okay, so nirename ko muna siya. You have to make sure na ang host name is server 1. Kaya nirename ko muna siya. Save. Tayo lang natin nagre-reboot siya eh. Any questions so far?
Sir, question po.
Sige,
Hello,
go
sir.
ahead. Go ahead,
Sir,
go ahead.
pag hindi po responsive yung start button tsaka search button ng Windows Server 2019, anong po problem?
Reboot mo lang. Tulad ko, nagre-reboot ako. Kasi dynamically expanding eh. So may ginagawa pa siya in the background. Nag-expand siya. Kasi
Kahit
like sa akin, tingnan mo.
kahit po ilang beses
Server
na
1.
nag-reboot, sir.
Hindi, give it at least 30 minutes. Dapat mag-respond na yan. Ayan, no? Lumaki na. Di ba kanina 2.3? Ngayon 3.9 gigabyte. Nag-expand pa siya.
Okay po.
So leave it at least mga 30 minutes, no?
Sir, question. Pagka magde-deploy ka ng magtatayo ka ng AD, ano yung mga i-consider mo? What are the things that you would consider in planning your Active Directory?
Planning yan, pare. Kailangan mo ng ano
Oo.
niya, architect niyan.
Mhm.
Naku, malaking question yan. How many users do you have? How many domain controller do you need? How fast is your
Mhm.
connection? No? Anong application ilalagay mo? How you gonna deploy? Daming tanong yan, pare. So that's why
Mm.
meron tayong architect na. So dito sa atin, admin, usually nag-hire kami ng architect kasi
Mhm.
hindi lang server. You need to consider the IP addressing scheme, yung IPAM na tinatawag. Normally we escalate that one to a network team kasi sila mag-a-assign ng IP address. Now else, you're gonna
Mm.
have a problem sa IBM, marami kaming customer, more than 20. So isa-isang IP addresses, subnet, planning yung mga yan. Napakadami. So kailangan yung architect na para makita niya yung kabuuan.
Mm. Kasi on a small scale corporation kasi,
Dalawa lang, okay na
dalawa
yan.
lang, dalawa, no? Mm.
Pwede na yan.
Mm. Okay. Dalawa per site, tama ba ako?
Ideally, yes. Dalawa per site.
Sa maintenance natin natatakel mamaya, sir, yun, ano? Just in case na mag-down yung isa, how would you enable the other one? Gawa ka na isa. Tama ba ako?
Oo.
Mamaya yan, ano? Sige.
Mamaya yan. Question pa, question. Tanong lang kayo, tanong lang. Habang inaantay natin mag-reboot to. Yung mga nag-chat, di ko nakikita, no? Kasi I'm using two screen eh. Tagal naman ito. Reboot ko lang to, no? So mukhang bumigay na siya. Ay, yun na. Bagal lang talaga.
Hello, sir. While waiting, ano?
Sige, sige.
What's the
Ask lang ng question.
ano yung best practice in maintaining user accounts? Number one is yung let's say for example si JR De La Cruz nag-resign dun sa sa company. Do you just deactivate the account or delete the account?
Disable the account.
Disable the account. Tapos talagang hindi na magagamit yung JR De La Cruz na username
Yes.
all throughout.
Wag niyo
That's the
i-delete.
best.
You need to disable the account. Why disabled? Kasi pag disable nyo, may existing, di ba? Existing siya. Pag nandun pa rin, pag dinelete nyo, that means can be created. No? May mga PowerShell na they can automate yung creation. No? Sa backdoor hacking, they can do create user. Kasi they can escalate to the root level. Pag root level ka, you can pretty much do anything, di ba? So, delikado. So,
Yes,
sa
sir.
Accenture kami, ginagamit din disable the accounts. Na lang, disable. So, we will find out na, let's say, another user siya, na malalaman namin siya yan. Well, ibang company naman, depende. Dinidelete namin. Sa IBM, dinidelete namin. Sa Accenture, hindi.
So, nare-reuse yung yung user account na yun?
Hindi pwedeng reuse kasi dapat new identity pag nire-hire niyo yung user. Kasi nandun yung mga previous permission niya.
Hindi, let's say,
Galing sa ibang
kaparehas mo yung
department.
pangalan.
Kailangan, any new employee, you need to recreate. Kaya kami, dami namin duplicate.
Okay.
Pero hindi naman totally duplicate kasi iba-iba pa rin ang security ID niya. So, ito, gumawa ako ng PC ko nag-install ako ng VMware sa PC laptop ko. Laptop lang tayo, no? Kasi bagal ng cloud, ewan ko bakit. So, maganda sa inyo din, mag-install kayo ng Hyper-V lang. No? So, paano mag-install ng Hyper-V? Punta lang kayo ng control panel. Type nyo lang control. Okay, ito paano mag-install ng Hyper-V sa laptop. Kailangan naka Windows 10 Pro kayo. Tapos check for programs. Okay? Kita niyo ito? Turn Windows on and off. Okay? So, dapat may makita kayong Hyper-V dyan. Pag nakita yung Hyper-V, click OK. Then, continue installation. Okay? Ako wala kasi nakaano ako Windows 10 Home. Home ako Yan, Home. So, walang Hyper-V ang Home. Okay? Yan ang difference sa Pro. Pro lalabas Hyper-V. Kung may Hyper-V na kayo, you can create this VM. Ngayon, nagkikreate uli ako. Nantayin lang natin kasi bagal ng cloud. So, ulitin ko ulit yung dinemo ko kanina. Anyway, mabilis lang naman tayo. Because we're gonna be using the same code. So, ito yung tinatawag na reusable code. So, kahit lumipat ka sa ibang machine, you can still create the same machine. No? So, ito yung tinatawag kung nag-DevOps kayo, tawag namin is infrastructure as a code. Lahat ng infra na build using codes lang. Okay? Pure coding lang siya. Tagal naman ito. Siguro break muna tayo ng 15 minutes. So, masiset up ko na to. No? Break muna tayo habang nag-expand pa yan. Okay? So, hindi ko na i-disconnect. I'm just gonna leave this one on. Okay, break muna tayo 15 minutes. Pero makikita niyo yung screen ko gumagana.
Sir, last question before we have a break. Sir, yung administrator, dinidisable ba or pinapalitan yan?
Disable yan,
Or
Mara.
nire-rename? Nire-rename, sir, no?
Yeah,
disable.
Oo. Disable,
Yun yung
tapos
best.
create a new admin.
Disable talaga.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, see you after 15 minutes. So, 10:15. See you at 10:15 a.m. Okay? I'm gonna leave this one on para hindi kayo ma-disconnect. Bye.